Wow, look at all these disgusting garbage roads. Thanks, Obama. Hello, everyone. I am Third Mario Brother, and welcome back to Sonic Generations. In the last episode, we completed the last era by fighting its boss, Perfect Chaos. In this episode, we are going to be moving on to the next era, beginning with this stage here from the oh-so-famous, if not infamous game, Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. So let's get into it with classic Sonic. And now, I can't really comment too much on Sonic 2006 myself, because really, I haven't had too many experiences with the game. I know it's one of those pieces of Sonic history that I'm totally missing out on, but I have not played it in depth or anything like that, so I really can't comment on the quality of the game itself from a first-hand standpoint, but I have seen bits of playthroughs of the game online. Not enough to know everything about it, but I have seen bits of playthroughs of Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 online, and I think I've seen enough to know that it does not look like the greatest of Sonic games of all time, and that is kind of unfortunate. That tends to happen in the Sonic series when you try to pair, something that's way too gritty and way too taking itself seriously with an anthropomorphic blue hedgehog who runs at supersonic speeds. I mean, the ideas just don't seem to gel well in my head, so combining things like, guns and weaponry and deep, mystical, magical lore of demons that are trying to destroy the world or whatever's going on in Sonic 2006 doesn't seem like the best idea to me. But Sega could not forego the fact that they created Sonic the Hedgehog 06, so they had to include a level from it, and so we get this level here. But I remember when that game was originally coming out, I was so jealous that it wasn't on Nintendo systems, because when I was younger, I didn't really have any, non-Nintendo systems. I never had an Xbox 360, and I only now have a PS3 years later, because I could not afford such things when I was but a wee boy. I was somehow out of work at the age of 6 years old. Man, that economy. Again, thanks, Obama. But, yeah, I was super excited for this game, and I was hoping that one of my friends would maybe start liking Sonic out of the blue and get it for their Xbox or something like that. But unfortunately, it never happened. By unfortunately, I mean potentially very fortunately, because reviews of this game across the board are pretty bad. Even a lot of ardent Sonic fans don't have very good things to say about Sonic 06. And you know what? It kind of shows when you're watching gameplay. You've got the enemies with the health bars. You've got really hackneyed level design, characters that seem like they were thrown in the last second. The story taking itself too seriously, all these kind of things, and me jumping off the edge. Well, there goes any possible potential of an S-rank. Yeah, I forgot this part of the level. The world is collapsing around us because we are in the midst of the apocalypse. But yeah, let's go ahead and return to that area and see if we can find ourselves a little bit more success. But yeah, my jealousy was all in vain, because apparently Sonic 06 was all around a fair disappointment to the Sonic franchise. But you know what? There are some fans of the game. I know there are some fans of the game in my fan base. And I don't know. What do you guys think of Sonic 06? I feel like I know what the majority opinion's going to be already, but for those of you who like the game, what is it you like about it? I would like to know. I would honestly like to know, because really it doesn't seem like there are too many redeemable qualities to speak of. But again, I've never played the game, so I don't have personal first-hand experience, so I'm not entirely sure. So tell me what you think down below if you have any sort of an opinion whatsoever. And yay, we replaced the life that we lost earlier. And hey, choked on my own existence for a moment there, but apparently also almost fell off the edge. Okay, where are we headed to? We are going up this ramp here, and we can continue on the level from this area. All right. But yeah, looking at this is the post-apocalyptic city. Look at this. Everything is absolutely destroyed. And little classic Sonic in here looking all cute and stuff, whether or not he's trying to save the world, kind of looks a little bit too adorable for an environment like this. Excuse me. Wouldn't you agree? I don't know, maybe that's just me. I mean, Shadow the Hedgehog, while not the best... Oh, come on, Sonic, why aren't you moving? Is my controller dead? No, okay, there we go. But, seriously? Seriously? Come on, Sonic, let's get going. We got a world to save, man. We've got buildings on fire, and you're apparently the Hedgehog Fireman now. But luckily, we can kill all these enemies in one hit instead of having to take their health bars down. But, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, Shadow the Hedgehog wasn't, like, the world's worst video game or anything like that, but it wasn't the world's best either, and it did feel sometimes like it was taking itself too seriously. And oh my gosh, guys, the goal is right there. The end of the level is upon us. We can finally get out of the city. Oh, Sonic Generations, you tease you. Yeah, oh. God dang it, what am I doing? I always do that. I jump over a pit, and I'm like, oh, no, let me go back. I'm not going to make this jump. Oh, wait, no, I can make it. Let me go. And by the time I decide what I want to do, it's far too late already. Gosh dang. Alright, and here we are back at the part where the game totally just taunts you by taking away the goalpost after wiggling it in front of your face. You have to go ahead and avoid that tornado in the middle because that tornado's carrying a car. And you never want to get caught up in a tornado that's carrying a car, my friends. Take it personally from me. I know the vast consequences that can come with such a thing. But yeah, if the flame tornado is flaring up and you try to cross there, you will get sucked in and you will die immediately. So you have to watch out for that, along with there being a lot of jerkish kind of jumps around here. And the wind throwing you off and all that kind of stuff. But it's not that bad, and the goalpost has returned to a very, very calm, tranquil place up here. By which I mean there's still a fire whirlwind, but you know what? It's crossable this time. So there we go. What kind of terrible, awful rank did we get? Oh, hey, we got an A. And you know what? I'm satisfied with that. Even though we didn't get ourselves a perfect and do it without dying, so we didn't get ourselves an S rank, I'm fine with it. You know what? Crisis City is just a crisis for my S rank streak, but you know what? That is okay. And how many times am I gonna say you know what in the next 5 seconds? Who knows? Either way, that was Act 1 of Crisis City, and we can return a lot of brown color to the place. And move on to the next act with Modern Sonic. And now, everybody who knows anything about Modern Sonic knows that there are Mach Speed segments in that game. But in this game, not Mach Speed segments, because everything's a Mach Speed segment with that boost function. So, we're going to be taking on Crisis City Mach Speed mode the entire time. How terribly daredevil-ish of us. Is that a word? Daredevil-ish? Probably not, but you know what? I'm coining it right now. And oh, whoops, I accidentally went to the stomp tutorial. Yep, just jump in the air and hit circle or B on an Xbox controller or whatever button you want to have on a PC, and you will stomp downward. It's actually fairly useful if you're trying to like speed run levels in two-dimensional segments where you have to drop down really quickly. If you learn the levels very well, you can use it to your advantage, and you can cut a few seconds out of your time. Not a whole ton, but you know what? It's something, and here we are. And immediately we begin Crisis City Act 2 by running down a giant slope, which means, yes, we can boost right off the bat, but you've got to be careful because right as soon as you start the level, you're going to find yourself over a gigantic lava pit, and that is no good, my friends. So you are going to want to be a little bit careful in that regard. But you know, those giant worm enemies in Sonic 06, whether they were the red ones or the purple ones or whatever, they always kind of just reminded me of the black aliens from Shadow the Hedgehog. So perhaps this game was actually secretly, whoa, Sonic, be careful there, man. Dang it, didn't get to take the upper route, which is always the most satisfying one. But unfortunately, what was I even talking about? Oh yeah, maybe this game was secretly a sequel to Shadow the Hedgehog or something. Who knows? Either way, there is a lot of homing attacking over pits in this level if you haven't noticed already. So that's kind of the stuff that we're going to have to deal with. And whoa! With the loop-de-loop that you can't get stuck on upside down in this game. Actually, I'm sure there's some magical way, and even if it hasn't been discovered yet, I'm sure there's some way in the universe to get stuck upside down on one of those loops. Not likely, actually, because in a lot of Sonic games, those loops are just entirely automated segments, and in Sonic 06, they did it kind of weird. If you haven't heard, in Sonic 06, one of the famous glitches that people refer to when they're talking about how terribly glitched and unpolished that game is, if you stop, like, running when you're on one of those loops, you can just stand upside down on it forever. But then afterward, no matter what button or direction you press, you're just going to keep on running forward. So whether you like that game or not, I think you have to admit that it lacks, like, a ton of polish. Either way, let's go ahead and boost right past the spring, evidently, and continue on with, whoa, all sorts of Michael Bay explosions going on here. Hey, man, that's not very nice. I was trying to homing attack you right in the teeth, and you wouldn't let me. Well, there's an example of the stomp function that the game was referring to earlier as soon as we got into the level. And whoa, I thought we were going to ring dash across those, but evidently that's not the case. So we're going to have to stomp down this lava right here, and it will go back up immediately after you get off it. So be careful of that if you want to return to a place multiple times. And I could have gotten that red ring there, but I wasn't feeling it. I'm not really feeling a lava bath right now, and I'm sure that's what would happen if I happened to go for that red ring. It would happen if I happened. Either way, one very redeeming thing about Sonic 06, whether or not you've played it, is the soundtrack. Oh, it's got some great songs to it, especially some of the last songs in the game. I think they're awesome, but that kind of goes without saying for a Sonic game, right? Ooh, can we get the red ring? Yes, we can! Totally pointless, but let's get it anyway. Man, the frame rate lag right now on this PS3 is so real. Man, it's just way too intense and way too mature for my PS3 to... Ah, hey! Whoa, man, chill out with that. Okay, sorry about that little cut there, but we are now through that segment, so we are free to continue on with the level. And this, I never really liked the whole gimmick of this level where you had to keep on stomping these pillars or whatever. Not a huge fan of it personally, because I feel like lava doesn't actually function like a spring, but you know what? It isn't that bad. So let's go ahead and grab that checkpoint, do ourselves some tricks, finish it up with the combo L1, R1 at the very end, and oh yeah. Right as I talk about L1 and R1, I forget that they exist as buttons, and forget that you're supposed to press them to avoid crap like this. So yeah, here is the reenactment of the Mach Speed segment from this stage, and luckily you're not going to die immediately if you touch anything this time around, so it's not all that bad. Either way, let's finish it up with the combo and finish Act 2 of Crisis City. Not exactly my favorite levels in the entire game, but you know what? We got ourselves an S rank, so there must be something redeemable about them, and you can breakdance later, Sonic. For now, we're going to finish up this video because we just completed the first level in the last era of Sonic Generations. There we go. We completed Crisis City, Acts 1 and 2. Now let's return a little bit of color to this place and see what our newly rescued friend over there, Blaze the Cat, has to say.
As much as I dislike relying on others, I'm grateful for your aid. The creature was beyond my skills.
And there we go, we've rescued Blaze. I thank you for your help, but still, I don't think we can let our guard down yet. And you're probably right about that, considering we're standing here in Purgatory and a hellish landscape of a city is standing right behind us. But Blaze, wait, didn't you return to an alternate timeline or something? I don't know. Either way, that's going to do it for this episode of Sonic Generations. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time where we take on a stage from Sonic Unleashed, which is quite an awesome one. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys then.